This council's naked greed for a yes vote on home rule is blatantly illegal, but fortunately the home rule process will give us a chance over the next few months to explore all of the ways the city could in fact be run very cheaply. For example, Sedona's budget in recent years has been on the order of $100 million, but staff admit they only spend about 70% of that. Okay, you only need $70 million. Then cut out the $40 million in capital projects that are nothing but resume padding projects for staff. That takes you down to 30. Fire 3/4 of the staff who are just padding their resumes. That drops your salaries and pensions bill by another $15 million. And there you are under the expenditure limit. Or we could take a look at it through the lens of this extremely misleading and deceptive set of slides that Barbara has put up here, in which she said that the statutory requirements of the city would cost about $25.5 million a year. No, they wouldn't, simply because the city does far more than it is legally required to do. Let us take, for example, the $8 million police brutality budget. What state law actually says is that the city is required to have a town marshal. You could give Stephanie a cowboy hat and a $100 a week stipend, and we would meet the statutory requirement. However, realizing there are those in the community who might like to have an official force of murderers maintained on the public dime, it's still possible to reduce their numbers by half to something closer to the ratio of a normal Western town, and to reduce their salaries by half, giving them something like parity with their U.S. Army counterparts. That takes your police brutality budget down from $8 million to $2 million. 6 from 25.5 is 19.5. Do the same thing over with streets and facilities. Take it down from 9.7 to 1.7. 8 from 19.5 is an $11.5 million budget, and you still have almost $4 million under the limit for things people actually want. This city could quite easily be run on a $15 million budget, provided that the people's priorities were front first and staff's legalized, institutionalized corruption cut out. I'd also like to remind you guys that if home rule does get voted down at the ballot, I will personally organize a recall effort against any councilor who proposes cutting funding for the library, the community center, the Humane Society, the arts, or any other community service. I do not support public funding for these programs. The community overwhelmingly does, and you will take direction from the community on spending priorities, not from staff. The lie that the library will get its funding taken away if people don't just buckle under and vote yes on home rule for their salaries is over.